Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, you are very welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the Scorpio full moon, which happens on April the 24th at 12:48 AM, and that's British summertime hours. I will be covering all 12 signs of the zodiac in this reading, so if you would like a more in-depth understanding of your astrological forecast, stay tuned and you can listen for your sun, moon or rising sign, or any other placement you choose to listen for. Please listen to the introduction, as this will give you a more rounded and holistic view of the energy which we are being presented with here, and give you a more insight into how you can personally navigate that energy too. Okay, let's get into it. So the full moon will be at 4 degrees in Scorpio. The sun is opposing that full moon at 4 degrees in Taurus, and that is, of course, how we have a full moon, is that the sun and the moon are aligning in such a way which allows the moon to reflect the sun's light fully onto our planet. And that happens around every 28 days. It is not the start of a moon cycle, it is the middle of the moon cycle, it's the pinnacle of the energy. However, this forecast is relevant not just for the energy of the full moon, but it carries us through to the new moon's energy and then overlaps with that new moon cycle through to the next full moon. So it's full moon to full moon. So this energy will be relevant for you for the whole of the month. And the time of a full moon is to shine light onto, to create manifested reality. It's a great time for manifestation. It's a great time for bringing forward ideas, for culminating ideas, for coming together. And that is why if you are any form of pagan practitioner, we often celebrate the full moons because they are a time of culmination, a time of coming together, a time of commune, a time of communion. And this moon in particular, it is going to be challenging, but I like the challenges it is bringing, and I also like the positive benefits which it is bringing as well. And here's why. I see Scorpio as the ocean. So if you think about Pisces as being Pisces and Cancer and Scorpio, all water signs. So if you think about Pisces being the river and the ever-flowing aspect of change, the Cancer is like the shore. It's the shoreline, it's the coral reef. It's much more gentle and surface level and nurturing. And the Scorpio is the deep depths of the ocean. So interestingly, given that we are having this full moon at 12:58 AM in the UK, that's known as obviously midnight, the black point, and the witching hour. And in the ocean, we have the midnight point, which is the darkest point of the ocean. And I think that we are going to be feeling that acutely. And what I mean by that is our deepest feelings, our deepest emotions, our esoteric principles, our philosophies, our thoughts, our desires, they are going to be feeling much more amplified during this Scorpio moon, and we are going to be wanting to express that to its fullest. So how are we going to express that? Well, firstly, because the sun is in Taurus, as is always the case with the Scorpio full moon, we have this real need to express our desires in physical ways. This is a brilliant time for intimacy. This is a brilliant time for deep romantic spiritual experiences with romantic partners, with friends, going to the cinema to see an art film, or going to see a classical concert, or having a spiritual shamanic experience like a gong bath or something like that. It's a brilliant moment in time to do that. because we are wanting to express our inner desires. We are wanting an experience, but we are wanting that experience to be somehow linked to this Taurian, soulful sun sign expression. So there is a lot of other things going on in this at this point in the astrology that is going to make that extremely poignant and emotional for us. We have a square between the moon and Pluto. Pluto is at 2 degrees Aquarius and the moon is at 4 degrees Scorpio. And Pluto is about toxicity. It's about karma. It's about past lives. It's about reutilizing the old, transformation, decay, rising from that decay, growth. It rules mycelium and fungus and mushrooms. So that's a really good analogy for it, because when we have that level of transformation, that we feel decay appearing, we feel like we want to transform, but we have to go through the process of decay first. We have to go through the process of transformation. And this full moon, for many of us, is going to feel transformative, but through a ordeal, basically. So, you know, it's not an easy position to sit with. We also have a square between Pluto and the Sun. We also have a square between Pluto and Venus conjunct Chiron. So what we desire to do, the physical manifestations that we want to put forward, are going to take a lot of emotional and spiritual effort and process to do that. Does that mean they are not possible? No, of course they are possible. Everything is possible. Everything that you desire to put your attention to will come to you. How it comes to you is about where on the scale you are placing your attention. Are you placing it on the toxicity, on the negative karma, on the things from the past? Or are you knowing that you have to go through a period of toxicity and process and elimination in order to really receive the benefits of growth? So with or without our consent, we are dealing during this full moon with elimination and toxicity. But what we don't have to do is to go and sit in the soil and the earth of that very grounded Taurian energy and feel uncomfortable and decaying with that. We can change that into a very positive energy. We can think about the decay and the toxicity and the elimination of the toxicity in the same way that we would when we plant flowers in the earth, seeds in the earth. You know, none of us are complaining about getting our hands dirty when we are planting sunflowers, because we know that we have to go through that process in order to grow and thrive. And this is why I'm going to say that this full moon is probably one of the most interesting of the year for me, or at least so far. We're still early days into the moons of the year, but yeah, this is a big one. This is a big one, folks. You know, the fact that we have Venus conjunct Chiron in Aries. Aries is all about the self. It's all about the inner child. It's all about play. It's all about wanting things to be your way. You know, and here we have Taurus as ruler. You know, about Venus is all about the material life, the material gains, love, art, the things we do for pleasure, the way we love, the way we express our love. And it's linked to wounds within the self and how we express ourself. So yeah, this is a very interesting energy in terms of where Pluto sits in this. We are also going to be you know, looking at our community, given that Pluto is now in Aquarius. We could even call this the age of Aquarius, you know, that we are sitting in now, since Pluto has moved out of Capricorn last year and now entered Aquarius, because we are eliminating karma from the past now. We are eliminating toxicity. So this is a really nice moon to work through that, and I would recommend that we work through that in a spiritual way, with those deeper, meaningful connections, with those people who we really care about, and in a way which allows us to have physical, spiritual experiences. Go and book yourself into a yoga class, go book yourself into a gong bath. You know, all this is going to be really useful for you to navigate the energy to the best of your ability. Now, in saying that, Pluto does have some positive aspect to Jupiter. It's trining Jupiter, and Jupiter is conjunct Uranus. If you haven't watched my video on that, please go and do so. And there's also other people's videos out there which are also really poignant and good for the Jupiter-Uranian conjunction. But yeah, go check my video out if you haven't already, because this is also relevant to this full moon energy. So we are able to really work through and process things at this time. This is not a short-lived, quick full moon energy. This is making waves and making new karma and eliminating old karma and working through the benevolent gifts of what we've physically been manifesting for a long time. And it's helping us to align with our deep or our highest self. So our highest self does not reside somewhere up in the heavens. It resides here within us. It is the deepest part of us. And that's what this light of the full moon in Scorpio is allowing us to see, the deepest parts of ourselves. I really believe that this is going to be a time when our closest friends, when our closest allies and our lovers are going to express some truths to us, as we are going to want to express truths to them. Not always comfortable, but ultimately beneficial. And also, if it's done in a way which allows space for others. And I would say with Scorpio, they are a fixed sign. They don't like change. They like things to be very matter of fact. And this moon wants to be certain, but unfortunately it can't be certain, because what we have here is karma at play and the more spiritual, ethereal aspects of Pluto at play. So what you believe during this full moon and how you is not as relevant as how you feel during this full moon. How you feel is what counts. How you feel is either what you need to burn off and resolve and get rid of, or it's what you need to embrace. So look out for the feelings, and I think that will give you the answers that you need to move forward through this moon cycle. Okay, let's get into all 12 signs. I will try and put a time stamp at the bottom, because I know some people have said that in other videos that I haven't managed to do that. I'm really working on being better at editing my videos, but at the moment I just do them in one fell swoop, and if I mess up I do apologise. I'm a very analog person, but I am learning those skills through time. So here we go, let's get into it. So Aries, this is happening in your 8th house. Oh wow. This is about transformation. I would actually suggest, Aries, that you withdraw during just this really intense bit of the full moon, that you, if you can, spend some time in solitude, spend some time reflecting on healing and how you heal, and where you want to where you want to grow. Spend time focusing on how you communicate with yourself and how you speak to yourself. Mercury is stationing direct during this full moon, and often the week before Mercury retrograde and the week after Mercury retrograde can be the most energetically challenging for our brain power, for our ability to express ourselves eloquently. So for you, this is a good time to slow down, to focus on the more spiritual aspects. And your ruler, Mars, is in the sign of Pisces at the moment, which is traditionally meant to be detrimental to Mars. But I have my Mars in Pisces, and I love that energy, because Mars in Pisces is like easy breezy, lazy, creative energy. It's definitely the energy for musicians and artists and dancers and philosophers and creatives. And so express yourself and express your physicality creatively through self-healing. So it might be a really nice time to try out some healing practices, having some ritual baths, or having some, doing some makeup, but just doing it for yourself, doing a little photo shoot for yourself, or, even investing in something more esoteric, more spiritual, like having a tarot reading, like having an astrology reading, and being more focused on those esoteric aspects. It's also a really good time to heal through intimacy and through physical intimacy with a partner, and communicating your physical needs and desires, and that can be a very, very transformative energy for some of you as well, and I like that. But it's ultimately not going to be a comfortable energy for you, Aries, and I love you guys. I have a lot of friends and family with Aries rising and Aries moons, and you are more sensitive than you even know, so keep it low level, keep it grounded at this time. You'll be fine. Okay, moving on to Taurus. Taurus, this is happening in your 7th house. So this is about relationships. This is about how you express yourself in relationships, how you want to be seen, I think, is the key here, and what you need to say in order to express yourself freely. I think that with you having Jupiter conjunct Uranus in your sign at the moment, this can bring a lot of benefits to you. This helps you to really amplify your soul's expression of what you want in a relationship. This is an awesome time for you to go out and have an intimate time with a partner, have a romantic experience, but it's going to be one of those things that you remember for a long time. It's going to be those kind of experiences where it's hitting you in a deep and meaningful way, and I like that for you. I like that opportunity that could bring. So a really good time to do something which was going to a different place, going on, maybe going and staying in a hotel, or doing some sort of practice with a very close friend or a close partner or a romantic partner. Amazing time for that. Things like drumming workshops, going to gigs, getting involved in community stuff, all that is going to be really interesting for you as well. So I like that energy, and yeah, good luck with that. Everything's happening in the relationship zone for you right now. Okay, moving on to Gemini. Gemini, this is happening in your 6th house. I'm guessing that this has been a very intense month for you, given that Mercury has been retrograde in Aries, with all this stuff going on with Chiron and Venus in Aries as well. Much of the same. I would be very careful of burnout at this time for yourself. You really need to operate in self-care. I think that things could come up in terms of property, real estate, places of work, that could cause some sort of disruption, or perhaps you're having a resolution of these things. You know, the moon does govern our place of living and, you know, property and things like that, and with it being in your 6th house, I think it's going to be a time of like home improvements, maybe, actually, which could be quite interesting for you and also quite fun for you. And, you know, maybe it's helping you to have a better daily routine. I am a little bit foreshadowing some burnout for some of you. And this is going to come from like a sudden influx of like emotion, which is going to come with this moon. So don't be surprised if you are feeling a little bit more emotional than you normally would, a little bit more teary, you know, or you are feeling like you are having vast emotions. Bring everything back in down to a grounded routine at this time. The moon is also here in the 6th house to allow you to understand how you can better adjust your daily routines so that burnout is not a thing for you, and so that communication is easier and flows better and it's more nurturing. And that's the thing, we are looking for nurturing aspects in our daily routine here. So if you are going to go and do something spiritual like a gong bath or like yoga or something like that, maybe try and integrate that into your weekly, monthly routine during this moon cycle and see how it makes you feel. So I think that's a really good way to go about this energy for you. In Leo, lucky Leos, this is in your 5th house. I really like this for you because you are wanting to express yourself, you're wanting to play, you're wanting to move on the ideas and manifestations that you've had in terms of things that you do for fun, things that you do because you want to do them. This is a really excellent time as well for children, for being a child, which of course we all are. So we're somebody's child and being in touch with our inner child, and it'd be a brilliant time to invest in, like, if you are into like cosplay or reenactments or even just like board games and card games and or physical sports. This is a brilliant time for that. A time for like really expressing your desires and your wants. And if you're not in a serious relationship and you're dating, this is also a really, really good time to meet someone with a very deep, communicative, philosophical energy, and someone who can really spark that flirtation with you and that aspect of play with you. And I like that energy for that reason too. Cancerians, you are having this in your sorry, 4th house. I was like, have I got that wrong? Have I got that right? But yes, it's in your 4th house. This is all about home and family. The moon being in your 4th house during this time is You know, the moon, as I've said, the moon governs, you know, your home, the location of your home, where you're living. So being at home for you is quite a big deal during this full moon energy. You're going to want to be at home more. You might want to hibernate, but it's not that you don't want to be with other people. This would be a great time for a dinner party. Like really, really good time to have intimate, close, personal friends around you and in and out of your home and being at home. So brilliant time for dinner party, brilliant time to have you know, a film night with your friends, a brilliant time to maybe be at home with your partner and have some really deep, meaningful conversations. You know, get a bath together, watch a film together, discuss philosophy together, you know, even create, if you're creative, you know, sit and create music or make art together. This is a really good time for bringing in that close intimacy around your home and family. And that's going to go for other family members as well, like parents and children and, you know, close family members who you live with or housemates that you live with. It's a really great time to connect with those people on a more deep, meaningful level. And I think this energy is going to be a lot easier for obviously other water signs, because it's trining your star sign. So this energy is great for that. Okay, moving on to Virgo. This is in your 3rd house. This is about your location. It's about your locale. It's how you interact with others on a mundane basis. It's also things to do with, I mean, some of you could have maybe news about members of your family, you know, maybe new pregnancies within the family, or stuff coming up to do with siblings, stuff coming up to do with how you interact with your siblings and roles with them. And I like this energy. I think this energy is going to bring more benefits to you in terms of adjusting how you have dealt with people in the past. And possibly it could bring up some issues with feeling paranoia or feeling like maybe you're lacking the sort of local mundane community that you want. So when I'm talking about mundane community, I'm talking about your local coffee shop, your the people you bump into in the street, like your neighbours. So, you know, maybe you're wanting more of that. And this is allowing you to see the full moon shining a light into the darkness, is allowing you to see how you can have and receive more of that. If you have been in retreat for a long time and hiding away from that, this is now time to be more public in the neighborhood and be more vocal in the neighborhood. But be careful what you say. Be careful how you deliver your truth. That's really important. So delivery is important. And remember, coming back to this idea of how we feel, that our feelings are going to be more relevant than our analytical brain at this time. Mercury is only just waking up after the retrograde. So feel the emotions first and then respond through the higher self, through love. Do not cause waves in your community without diligence. Otherwise, it could land you in some toxicity with that difficult square to Pluto. So moving on from that, we have Libra. Libra, this is happening in your 2nd house. This is all about shining a light on money and finances for you, Libra. I'm Libra ascendant. I'm feeling this acutely right now. So, you know, it's time to get in order. You know what's not working. You know where the toxicity is in your money blockages, in the way you spend money, in the ancestral karmic history of where you've come from in terms of your ability to make money, in terms of your class system, in terms of your socio-political system that you've been indoctrinated into. You know all that. If you didn't know all that, you wouldn't be tuned in to the astrology and, so, you know, vibrating with those extra layers that, you know, this form of spirituality offers you. You are attuned, you are awake. So be real with yourself. Be real with yourself about your finances. Be real with yourself about what you need to do to get that security and discipline. This for you, Libra, is about discipline. What you don't want to be doing during this full moon and the month ahead is indulging in all the things that we love to indulge in during a Taurian transit. So, you know, fried food, unhealthy junk food, binge watching trash programming, overspending, overindulging. That is a bad time to do these things. What it is a good time to do is it's a good time to take responsibility for your finances. You know, maybe do a no spend week or a no spend month, where you're focused really acutely on ordering your finances, on your health, on being disciplined with what you choose to absorb. You know, the second house is all about money and finance. The sixth house is usually the house of absorption and, you know, diet and routines and things. But without the discipline of the second house, without the discernment of the second house, we wouldn't even be able to function and have a routine. Hands up if you know that struggle, because I am Pisces in the sixth house. So routine is a struggle for me at the best of times. But here we are, Libras. We can really bring that energy down and just say, what's going on here? Let's look at what's going on. And I'm not going to feel emotionally attached to that. I'm not going to feel anxious about that. What I'm going to do is just see where I'm at and say, I'm so glad I know. I'm so glad that I've come to this point where I'm dealing with my finances and I'm looking at things, and it could actually bring a lot of blessings in. So the fact that we are looking at it means that we are seeing the full picture. And with your ruler in Aries conjunct Chiron, Venus conjunct Chiron, it's allowing you to really see what you can do for yourself to heal yourself so that you can have a better relationship with your own finances and your own discipline. I like this for you. It's a process that we all have to go through at some point, and this is your turn. So moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio, this is happening for you in your first house. I really like this because you are wanting to express yourself. You're wanting to get things off your chest in a way that you normally would keep hidden. So you are much more sensitive, you are much more psychic at the moment, you are more emotional, you are more attuned, psychic dreams, other people's vibes, your own vibrations are going to be very alighted at this time and much more visceral at this time. Please, again, be careful of toxicity, particularly with you having Pluto in the fourth house. Home and family could be, could feel transformational at this time. You could even have some news or some big events being exposed around your home. For some of you, this is going to be about eliminating toxicity within your housing situation and within your home. So you might be needing to move, you might be needing to change something in your home, you you need to transform, and it's going to happen with or without your consent, basically. So try and get on board with it. And the way you get on board with it is being genuine and honest about your feelings and your emotions. I know that's really difficult for you, Scorpio. You're very honest people, but you're not upfront. And the reason you're not upfront is because it's nobody else's business. And you will take things to the grave that, for example, a Libra ascendant, they don't hold on to any information. They have information, they offer that information out, and you know, that's what they do in order to filter things out. Whereas you normally will hold on to things and you will internalize it. I don't think you are able to internalize this right now. I don't think you are able to hold in your feelings right now. And the reason for that is because of this Pluto energy for you. So buckle up and just express yourself. What is the worst that can really happen? As long as you're expressing yourself through kindness and through understanding that you need to eliminate toxicity, not increase toxicity, and that you're wanting to work through old karma and receive the benevolence of this Jupiter-Uranian conjunction of new karma, then the world is your oyster. You know, really, you can get exactly what you need from this full moon if you are discerning and resonate with your feelings at a higher level. If something feels uncomfortable at this time, if it feels difficult and challenging at this time, switch your perspective into what feels good and thank those difficult feelings for showing you that you're not quite in alignment with where you need to be. Switch your perspective, the feelings and emotions will change. So good luck, Scorpio. I like this for you. I like the fact it's in your first house. It's allowing you to speak your truth in a way which you don't normally. Could be quite romantic as well, given that the 7th house, the sun's in the 7th house, and obviously we've got Jupiter, Uranus in the 7th house. So you could really be meeting or engaging with a partner on a really deep spiritual level, and you could be finding love as well. So I like that for you too. Okay, we have got Sagittarius is in the 12th house. Okay, Saggies. This is a time for you to focus on perhaps a bit more solitude, a bit more, you know, internalized thought. There's a lot going on with wanting to resolve your sense of identity, of how you identify in the world, which is your pleasures and your passions. For example, you know, calling yourself a musician or an artist or a skater or a DJ, and you know, these might not be your career professions, but they're things which you identify with, and the ways which help you to feel liberated and yourself, and you know, expressive. They're ways of expressing yourself, and I think that's what you're predominantly going to be philosophizing about during this full moon. I think you're going to be thinking about who you are, who you want to be out in the world, and wanting to express yourself. This is a really good time for you to involve yourself with private practice. So if you are creative, take yourself off to your art space or your studio and make your music privately. You know, play your guitar, listen to your music, feel inspired, have some time in seclusion. It's also a brilliant time for Sagittarius to go on a spiritual retreat. You would get many, many blessings and eliminate many toxic elements of your idea of self, really, and of seclusion, and your ability to grow and to understand yourself better. So that's fundamentally where I see Sagittarians going, is just having this secluded time that they can do the things they love because that's what they identify with. But you're also eliminating some of those things. So if you have been identifying for a long time as like a silversmith, but actually you really hate being a silversmith and you hate making jewelry and you're bored of it and you want to start being a crocheter or a mechanic or whatever as a hobby, change your hobby, change that right now. So for some of you, going on spiritual retreats, for others, you know, maybe even going and practicing new hobbies, I think that would be a good thing for you to do as well. But primarily it's quite a secluded energy. It's an energy where you are you're going to be away from other people, I think, predominantly, or at least you're going to feel a little bit separated from other people, and that's okay. You know, we all have that energy. Capricorn, this is in your 11th house. So just gonna have a sip of my tea. So Capricorns, I like this. I really like this energy. This is about friendships. It's about play. It's about travel. Short or long distance travel. Taking a vacation. Taking you know, going on some long drives, having fun with friends, connecting with people who you associate with by choice, groups who you associate with by choice. I've got loads of social things on during this full moon and work during this full moon. So as a Capricorn sun, I understand this energy very well. So yeah, it's all about the social elements. I like this for you. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Okay, moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius is in the 10th house. This is happening for you in the 10th house, should I say. This is about your career, Aquarius. How you present yourself in the world. For a lot of you Aquarians, you are going to have to deal with the karma that has been in place for a long time for you. And it's going to feel acute, and you may be feeling like you are eliminating a lot of toxicity during this full moon, and that you're able to express a lot emotionally during this full moon, which is really nice and, you know, good for you. But also, you, in and among that positivity, you are also going to have to be working through the karma, which is not so good, and that's okay. That's a reality of being a manifested being in a human experience, is we don't get things right. We don't always behave in alignment with who we want to be. And one of the most important things at this time for you is understanding that how you are seen in that public, out in the world, is a response to how you have behaved. And so if you like what you see, if you are eliminating toxicity, if you are doing your bit for humanity, then you are going to feel like you are really moving forward on that. But as with every single one of us, there is going to be some things that you don't like here. There is going to be some things that you don't like. The way you are perceived by some people, or even the way you are perceiving yourself out in the world, who you're presenting yourself to be in your career and in the presence of others, might not be who you truly feel you are. And this is a really good time to adjust that energy for you and help you to gain some really positive karma and eliminate some toxicity. Be careful with your behavior at this time, because other people are going to see it. They're going to notice your behavior, and they're going to notice what you're putting out into the world. For Pisces, finally but not last, Pisces, this is happening in your 9th house. I really dig this energy for you, and the reason is you're already super spiritual. You are the magi of the zodiac, and you are going to be really philosophical. You're going to feel really deep. You're going to want to connect on a very soulful level with higher education, with esoteric learning, with philosophical learning. You're going to want to have philosophical debates. You may want to do some traveling in order to have a physical spiritual experience. You might be meditating or on a meditation retreat. You want to communicate on deep philosophical levels about your beliefs. You are transforming your beliefs at this time. They really are changing and transforming. You know, and you've got Pluto over in the 12th house here, so the karma is huge for you right now, and the moon is trining your sign. So this is a shift. This is a paradigm shift for you, Pisces, and I like it. I really like it for you. I think that you could level up onto the next level of spirituality, you know, corkscrewing up to another level of understanding about yourself, letting go of karma, learning about how to deal with karma. A really good time to do manifestation work, to do visionary work, to do shamanic work, to again be on a shamanic retreat, or just have really good connection with people who spark you philosophically and who you want to debate with. I love this energy for you. So I made it at 47 minutes in. I made it through it. I hope you have enjoyed this reading. As I said, I'm going to try and make better edits of these videos, because it's hard work talking for this long. Like, I don't know how these big YouTubers do it. I don't feel like I've always got that much to say, but obviously with the astrological forecast, we have a lot to cover, so here we are. So thank you for staying till the end. The next video will probably be on maybe the new moon, although I might do some I might do a video about Pluto, because I just feel like Pluto, having shifted signs in the last year, is needs to be discussed a bit more. Yeah, so stay tuned for those videos. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share this. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so via my website, which is in the description box below. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm hex_tarot, and that is my only account. I've got a blue tick. There is loads of fake accounts out there, so please make sure it's me, and that is again in the description box below, and it would really help me out if you did give me a follow. And there's also loads of content on there about folklore and magic and all the other things that I do aside from this work. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, don't forget, please comment below with your with how you're going to experience this moon. What are you doing during that weekend? You know, what are you going on a retreat? Are you having dinner parties? Are you spending time in solitude? What are you doing, and how does that make you feel? How does the prospect of doing that, or if you're watching it post full moon, how does that make you feel, and how did it go? And I'd be really interested to know, and I will comment below with what I did and what I am doing. And yeah, let's keep this community thriving. So I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.